What up, guys? GangstaPranksta here, bringing the weekly wrestling review for sometime in November. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the show, this is where we talk everything about professional wrestling, from news, reviews to predictions. We talk about it all. So if you're a fan of professional wrestling, welcome to the show. On today's show, we got reviews for Ring of Honor Glory by Honor 11, TNA One Night Only. I don't know the exact what this one was called, but it was the World Title Tournament thing with all the heavyweight guys. And we have two reviews for 2 weeks worth of Raw, Smackdown, Impact, NXT, Ring of Honor, and my favorite show, one of my favorite shows on TV right now, Total Divas made a return. The second half of the season came back, and we're going to be reviewing it over the next couple weeks, so super excited about that. But let's just jump into some wrestling, and we're going to have some wrestling news to talk about, but that'll come later. So yeah, let's just jump right into it, since there's quite a bit to talk about. So let's start out with the two pay-per-views. Which one should we start out with first? Let's start out with TNA One Night Only, the Tournament of Champions. I think that was what it's called. At least that's what it's here on my notes. So this was just a tournament style of like all the former TNA World Heavyweight Champions all accumulated into this one tournament, and we're going to see who is the best of the best guy or former champion, whatever. Honestly, this is probably the best TNA One Night Only ever. That's not even saying much. This was better than what the crap we're used to. The past couple ones have just been terrible. The hardcore one, that one was terrible. The women's one, I think that was the last one we watched. That was just absolutely awful. This one, there was nothing too bad. There was nothing bad. Everything was like okay to decent. So yeah, it was just some okay wrestling. Like I said, nothing big. But you know, it's just like it was an average show. With nothing bad and stupid, which usually is associated with One Night Only. So anyways, let's just jump through the card. First, we got James Storm versus Mr. Anderson. Pretty good match. Storm wins. One thing I want to talk about, I liked how they showed promos. Like, they pretty much did, before the entrances, they did a promo for each guy, and like, the guy's like, hey, I'm James Storm, I'm this many time world champion, and then they show like how they became world champion in the match and all that stuff. Well, I liked it and I didn't like it. I liked the fact that they actually did a promo package, like explaining how they won the world title. But, you know, typical One Night Only, they're trying to kill so much. I don't know why you have pay-per-view. The reason you have a pay-per-view is for wrestling. Because, that, you know, that's all wrestling. That's what you buy a pay-per-view for. Well, TNA's, I don't know what their thinking is behind that. Because they're like, we have to kill as much time as possible. So let's show all these fucking matches. I'm not talking about the matches on the pay-per-view. They actually showed, like, a good portion of the ending of most of these matches, like how they became world champion. Like, I remember they showed Joe and Angle at Lockdown in like the last few minutes of the match. They did that with everybody almost, and it's just like, oh my god, how much time are you trying to kill on this pay-per-view? Like, it was ridiculous. Another thing they did that I really, really hate on One Night Only, I've said this a million times, I'm going to say it again. They started the show saying, okay, alright, sorry about that cut, I got a phone call, I had to answer it, you know, stuff. So they start out, the pay-per-view like they normally do. They're like, alright, this is what we're going to do on the pay-per-view, this is the theme, this is what's going to happen. And then they show clips of the matches that we're going to see throughout the night. And I find that so frustrating because, like, we're going to see it. Why don't you use, you know, the tons and hours and hours and hours of footage that you have from pay-per-views, from impacts, all that shit. Why don't you use that as the promo package, not the actual matches that we're about to see? I think it's so retarded when they do that. I fucking hate it. And they still do it. Not that they listen to me, but like, it's so stupid. I don't get it. Oh, whatever. So yeah, they just try to kill as much time as possible on this pay-per-view as usual. But let's go through the matches. I think we already went through the first one, Storm versus Anderson. It was a pretty good match. Storm won. Next we had Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy. Good match. Joe won. Next we had Kurt Angle versus Austin Aries. They had a good match. Apparently this was our first match ever. I'm so glad they saved it for a TNA One Night Only pay-per-view where no one's going to watch it. And yeah, it was so stupid. When you can have it at Bound for Glory, like I said. They had a good match. They tried to do some funny stuff. Aries tried to do some funny stuff. He tried to do funny stuff in all of his matches. And it turned out alright. He was like, no one's going to see this anyways. Let's just do whatever. And they ended up having a good match, and I enjoyed it. And we're going to talk about them again, because they had a match again on Impact, and that was really good. So next we had Bully Ray versus James Storm. Pretty good match. Storm won by DQ. Next we have Bobby Roode versus Sting. This was pretty bad. Man, it's really this pay-per-view and Bound for Glory that made me realize that Sting just needs to go away, man. Like, he's not having good matches. I don't know, I just think he's so worthless right now on TNA, man. Like, yeah, sure, he's a name, and people might know him. But people know him for the stuff he did in WCW. People don't care about the stuff he's doing in TNA, you know? I just think it's so bad. Just leave right now. Like, this match sucked. His match at Bound for Glory sucked against Magnus. He's just been having a string of just shitty matches. Like, I honestly asked myself, when's the last time Sting had a good match? I could not answer that for the life of me. Like, when is the fucking last time he had a good match? I don't fucking remember. Like, all his matches have been shit. He didn't really care here. This is a terrible match. Roode had to carry him through. And, oh man, it's just terrible. Like, I'm really not liking Sting. I really would like for him to just go away. And then I think TNA can kind of get back on its feet. You know, get rid of Sting. They already got rid of Hogan and Bischoff. Just go get rid of Sting as well. He's not contributing to your brand at all. Like, at all. What I thought about this, I'm like, you know what? They want to use Sting, that's fine. Do what WWE does with Brock Lesnar with Sting. Bring him in a couple times a year, and that's it. There's really no need to have him full-time. Having him full-time really just ruins the... Like, he was supposed to be special when he came in. And he's not special anymore because he's there the whole fucking time. So it's like, just bring him in every once in a while. Make it special. Like, he should be on Impact like 2-3 times a year. Now, I'm not saying he should only be there 2-3 times a year, but he should only pop in for a couple runs for like 2 to 3 times a year. Like, have him come in at Lockdown. Like, you got the babyface, you got the heels. They're a full team of 5. You got the baby faces. They're only 4 team. They're looking for a 5th person. Bam! Sting is their 5th person. They have a match with Lockdown. Done. That's a cool little thing to bring him in for. And then maybe have him come in for Bound for Glory. But only have him come in for Bound for Glory, 1, if the story's right. And 2, if the opponent's right. Like, I like him working with Ethan Carter right now. Because he's, you know, trying to help put over Ethan Carter as you know, a potential guy in TNA for the future. But, like, having him come in and, like, wrestle like a Bully Ray on a Bound for Glory, like a Kurt Angle, like, that's worthless. Don't do that. Have him come in, have him face the younger guys, so it can kind of help them for the future. So, like I said, only 2-3 times a year. Do what they do what WWE does with Brock Lesnar. I feel very strongly about this. I do not want to see Sting on every Impact, everything. Like, he's just everywhere. I hate it. I hate it a lot. Bring him in a couple times a year. Done. It's simple. It's really simple, too, but whatever. So, yeah, it was just okay at best. Roode won. He advanced in the tournament. Next, we had Samoa Joe versus Austin Aries. This was a pretty good match. Joe won. None of the matches went very long. I think the longest match was Angle versus Aries. They went 11 minutes. That was the longest match on the pay-per-view. Really? That is the longest match on the pay-per-view? Everything else was under 10 minutes. Like, I thought it was so stupid. Like, I would have liked to seen Aries and Angle go fucking at it for, like, 10 plus. But at the same time, you gotta think, like, it is a tournament. They're gonna have to wrestle more matches. So, I don't know. I saw it from both perspectives, but all under 10 minutes. But there was a good reason for it, so I'll let it pass. So Joe versus Aries, pretty good match. Joe won. Next we have Bobby Roode versus Sting. Pretty good match. Roode won. And in the finals of the tournament, we had Samoa Joe versus Bobby Roode. I was really surprised that Samoa Joe actually made it to the finals. just because he hasn't done shit in TNA in forever. And this was supposed to be like a world champion tournament type thing. And not to take any credit away from like his reign as champion or whatever, but like I don't know. I just didn't expect it, just for the simple fact that like they haven't pushed Joe very well in the past couple of years. I was gonna say months, but I really thought about it. The past couple of years, they haven't done shit with Joe. And then it made me think about Samoa Joe. Like, damn, Samoa, like, when they were showing the promo packages and shit, like, damn, Samoa Joe used to be awesome. I fucking loved Samoa Joe before he became world champion. Not to say, I don't know, like, when he became world champion, that's when it started to go all downhill, and then the whole Nation of Violence thing and all that shit. But, like, Samoa Joe used to be fucking awesome. Now, he's like a shell of his former self. I fucking hate it a lot, because I really like Samoa Joe, but, like, he's digressed so much. Not just, I don't even know if it's like he's getting older and whatever, but like just TNA as a whole, they need to make him a goddamn monster again. They need the fans to chant, Joe is gonna kill you, and people believe it. Remember when Samoa Joe first came in and everything he did looked devastating? Now everything he does just looks lame as shit. Oh man, I fucking hate it a lot. But anyways, whatever. I was really surprised he made it to the finals. He ended up losing to Roode, which was pretty much no surprise. I knew he wasn't gonna win it. Like, I thought maybe Hardy was up there to win it. Maybe Aries, Roode, and James Storm. Those were my picks to win it. But Samoa Joe making it to the finals? Whew, I'm glad I didn't bet money on this. That's all I'm gonna say. So overall, like, it was a pretty good thing. But it's pretty good for like a one night only show. And like I said, those have been absolutely terrible. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this at all. There's really like, usually they might have like one match that's like good and be like, oh shit, you gotta watch this match at least. Like the whole pay-per-view might be shit, but you gotta watch this match. There wasn't even that. Honestly, you know, people probably already forgot about it, so who cares about this show? But I'd say it was average at best. Nothing amazing, nothing bad, except for the whole Sting match. Like I said, it was just whatever. So that was that pay-per-view. Next, let's talk about the Glory by Honor show. Ring of Honor, Glory by Honor 11. This was a good pay-per-view. I enjoyed this a lot. You had two really good matches that like make this whole pay-per-view worth it by itself. Like as a show as a whole, it was alright, you know, it wasn't bad. There was the undercard didn't look that strong. For Glory by Honor is supposed to be like a big show for Ring of Honor, right? Well, I don't know, the card just didn't look as stacked as it could have been. I mean, there were some good matches on the show, like you had Paul London come back to Ring of Honor. That's always exciting to see. And we're going to talk about him later because he had a fucking great match. But let's talk about from the bottom to top. So we start out with Silas Young versus Mark Briscoe. They've been feuding for a little bit. They had a good opener. Some good back and forth stuff. Silas ended up winning. And after the match, he took the ref's belt and whipped Mark Briscoe with it. So apparently this feud's going to continue. And it's probably going to end in a strap match. Just really random, honestly. But, you know, that's whatever. Next, we had Adam Page versus Jimmy Jacobs. Pretty good match. Jacobs wins. This was continuing with his trial matches. This was one of the 5, so he ended up winning, which is cool. Next, we have Kevin Steen versus Mike Bennett. Battle of the Pile Drivers. They had a good match. Bennett ended up coming on top. He ended up winning the match due to interference by Maria. But after the match, we had Lisa Marie Varon. A lot of you might not know that name, but it's Victoria from WWE, Tara from TNA. This is her actual name. Her government, not her, I don't even want to say government name. I think that sounds so retarded. That's her real name. And she came out and she attacked Maria. They didn't do some backstage stuff. They did some stuff on the Ring of Honor YouTube page. Apparently, so I'll just call her Tara. Because that's what probably most people know her as. She owns a restaurant, and then they did some stuff with Maria in the restaurant, so this ended up actually happening. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually have a match on the next show. What's the next card? Final Battle, I think, is the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had a match there. But yeah, it was cool to see her again. Next, we had someone it was really cool to see. Tommaso Ciampa took on Jesse Sorensen from TNA. Yeah, the guy that broke his neck. He made his debut in Ring of Honor. They had a pretty good match. Ciampa won. Really no surprise there. The only thing I would have liked to see was for Jesse to get some more offense in. I felt like it was just a really long squash match for a little bit. He had some spots, but not too much. It was pretty much just Ciampa beating the fuck out of him for the whole match. But, I'm good to see Jesse Sorensen, that he's still wrestling even after he broke his neck. He's in great shape. And, you know what? I'd like to see him in a Ring of Honor again. Maybe even TNA. Maybe TNA's... I don't know if TNA's in his future, because I think he had a falling out with the company. But, I'd definitely like to see him in Ring of Honor again in the future. And we'll be talking about Ring of Honor some more later on, because I just want to talk about the direction of Ring of Honor. So, Jesse Sorensen versus Tommaso Ciampa, pretty good match. Probably could have been a lot better if Jesse got some more offense in, and it was an actual competitive match. It didn't really feel like that, but good to see Jesse again. Next, we had Adrenaline Rush versus Outlaw Inc. This is probably the worst thing on the show. It was an okay tag match, nothing too bad. I just don't like Outlaw Inc. as a whole. Just them with breaking fingers and they're crazy and all that shit. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not enjoying their stuff. Outlaw Inc. won. Whatever. They cut a promo after. Next, we had one of the greatest matches on the show. Paul London versus Roderick Strong. These guys had a really good match. I really enjoyed this. They fucking went all out. It felt like a Ring of Honor match. And if you know what I'm talking about, just these two guys, they just give it their all in the ring. They had some really cool spots. One of my favorite was Roderick Strong. He does this fireman gut buster thing where he gets him up in the fireman's carry, throws him up, and then has the guy land gut first onto his knees. Well, he did that spot, but instead of London falling onto his knees, he countered it by doing a double stomp. It looked really cool. It sounds like a simple spot, but it sounded really cool. And they just had a really good back and forth match. I really, really enjoyed this. I definitely recommend checking this out. And I just fucking love Paul London. I wish he would make more appearances in Ring of Honor and actually be like a prominent roster member where he's there all the time and stuff. But I like him making appearances because it's special. He's one of those old school Ring of Honor guys. And, coming back and having matches with, Michael Elgin and Davey and, Roderick. Thank God he didn't get his head smashed in this time by Davey. But, yeah, it was a really good match. I really, really enjoyed this. Check it out, honestly. It's a really good match. And, of course, we had the main event, which was just absolutely nuts. It was an 8-man tag. It was the All-Stars versus the Champions. So it's Michael Elgin, Jay Lethal, Caprice Coleman, and Cedric Alexander taking on Adam Cole, Red Dragon, and Matt Taven. So pretty much the whole premise of the match was you have Michael Elgin and his team. They're the #1 contenders for the champions. And then you got champions on the other team. So it's an 8-man tag elimination match with a 2-hour time limit. Yes, I said a 2-hour time limit. Apparently they did have this match before and it went well over an hour. And this match went well over an hour too. We'll talk about it in just a second. But, so whoever won the match gets a world title shot sometime in the future. So, yeah, like I said, 2-hour time limit. So this is going to be a lot of crazy stuff. And honestly, it was a great match. It was a great main event. It went well over an hour. And it was just really good. There's some things that I didn't like. Okay, so we had Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander. They got eliminated. And then you had Jay Lethal get taken out. They did an injury spot with him. They did a crazy spot. and then, you know, he was on the outside, and he was, like, injured, and it's like, you know, the people don't want him to wrestle. He's like, no, fucking, I'm going to wrestle. I'm still going to do this. So they have him get back in the match, and let him get the hot tag, and it seemed like he was going to, like, the whole reason to bring back someone that has been injured during the match is for them to come do some stuff, eliminate somebody, and then eventually get eliminated because they succumb to their injury. Well, that didn't happen here. They brought in Jay Lethal, and then he got eliminated pretty quickly. Not immediately, but pretty quickly. So then Michael Elgin had to pretty much defeat all the champions by himself. I didn't like that too much, just having one guy just destroying all the champions by himself. I just thought that was kind of ridiculous. But it was a great match. Like I said, well over an hour. It could have been trimmed down a little bit, like the end where Adam Cole and like Michael Elgin were going one-on-one. It went on a little bit long, in my opinion. I would have liked to seen that chopped down a little bit. But other than that, it was a great match. It was a really good match. Great. It was entertaining the whole time. Like you'd think with like a 2-hour time limit, they're gonna go the distance. They're gonna go a really long match, and like you'd think they would conserve their energy and stuff, and like, oh, okay, we're gonna go an hour, so let's not go crazy the whole time. But like they can go crazy in a match like this, where like Adam Cole and Jay Lethal, they can go fucking nuts, and then once they get tired, okay, we can tag in our partners, and bam, they can go nuts for like 10 minutes. Okay, bam, tag in, the other partners come in, they do some stuff. So it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend the whole show was good. The whole pay-per-view was good, but I definitely recommend the last two matches, Paul London and Roderick Strong, and the 8-man elimination match. This is kind of what like the Survivor Series matches should be like. You know, give them enough time. Let these guys just go out and do their fucking thing. Like, you know, we're not reviewing Survivor Series here. We're gonna do that on the next weekly wrestling review. But I'm doubting that they did, you know, an hour match, an hour elimination match. So I don't know. It was just cool. And after the match, we had Jay Briscoe come out and attack Elgin and Cole, and showed off his own personal championship. So that was cool. I think the main event of Final Battle is supposed to be a 3-way: Elgin, Jay Briscoe, and Adam Cole. So that'll be interesting to see. I can't wait to see Final Battle. So overall, I really enjoyed this pay-per-view. Last two matches, like I said, watch this for the two matches because they were fucking awesome. And you don't even have to pay to watch, honestly, because they ended up showing, they broke down the pay-per-view to where it's like they recorded it for TV. So the next couple episodes of TV were all Ring of Honor or Glory by Honor matches. So if you didn't get a chance to order the pay-per-view, you could have watched the TV show Ring of Honor, and you could have seen the matches there. I think when they show them on the TV show, though, they cut them up, and they don't do, like, the whole match, so that's kind of unfortunate. I would go out and watch this card, especially the last two matches. Can't praise those matches enough. So, yeah, like I said, definitely check that out. Alright, now we're going to move on to Raw. So these were the Raws and Smackdowns leading up to Survivor Series. So, you know, we got more build-up with, like, Punk and Bryan and the Wyatt family. It seemed like really thrown together, you know, now that I've actually got time to see it and stuff. I mean, it sucks Bryan's not in the WWE title picture anymore, but at least he's doing something relevant. I mean, like, right now, like, now, January, he's part of the Wyatt family or whatever. That's kind of weird, just because I'm not up to date on my wrestling, so it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. But, I'm liking the Punk, Bryan, the Wyatt. I like the Wyatt family as a whole, man. Just a cool, creepy gimmick. It's something different. And I think that's what WWE's needed for a while. They need something different. Not just like, hey, I'm a babyface or I'm a heel. You know, you got these like dark characters and they're violent and dirty and it's just dark. And I love it a lot. I really like the gimmick. So WWE as a whole has just been like really good lately. Like I just enjoy watching the product from top to bottom. It's it's such a well-rounded show. And you know, sometimes it has its ups and downs, like the whole Big Show authority thing. That's a real down, at least for me. But you know, even if that sucks, there's still gonna be other stuff on the show that's gonna be good, like the tag team division, which is fucking amazing. Shout out to Goldust and Cody Rhodes; they're doing a great job. Not even just them, like the Usos, the Real Americans. Um, oh god, there's so many tag teams. They're all so good. So I don't know. I really love it, especially as a tag team fan. It's great to watch. What else do we got? Throughout the shows, I wanted to talk about this. Oh, we had Tyson Kidd return. He had a match. He teamed with Natalya to take on Fandango and Summer Rae. That was okay. But good to see Tyson Kidd back. I think he's going to get a decent little push just because he's on Total Divas. And I like that, you know, because normally Tyson Kidd probably wouldn't be used. You know, right? If there was no Total Divas, we'd probably never see Tyson Kidd. Let's just be honest. We'd probably never see. Same thing with Natalya. Just like Natalya was pretty much nothing before Total Divas, and now that Total Divas is on, and she's appearing on it, and she's a main character on it, you know, people care about her now, and you know, she's being used on TV. You know, she's actually challenging for the Divas Championship and everything. I remember hearing, I don't remember where, if it was on Total Divas or on a Raw or something. It's like she's gonna have a title match, and it's like the first title match she's had in like 3 years. Like, what? That's crazy. She's one of the best women wrestlers, and like she's getting thrown back. I don't know, but I'm happy that Total Divas can be that. What's the word I'm looking for? Be that driving force for her to like get back to becoming relevant, and Tyson Kidd too. So I'm happy that that the show can bring a pot. Not only is it an entertaining show, but now we get to see, you know, Tyson Kidd and Natalya some more. So that's good. What else happened on the show? Oh, on the past couple like Raw and Smackdowns, they've really been building, like, there was really no build up towards Del Rio and Cena. Like, it only happened like recently. Like, okay, they had about 3-4 weeks from Hell in a Cell to Survivor Series, right? Well, the first couple weeks, Del Rio and Cena didn't have like any interaction. All the interaction was Damien Sandow and John Cena, so it made it seem like, okay, Damien Sandow is going to be involved in the title picture. It's going to be a 3-way at Survivor Series. Like, you know, Cena and Sandow, they've been going back and forth, whatever. They've been having 6-man tags with the Real Americans and Cody and Goldust. And then he completely gets shut out. It was like, what the fuck? That's so retarded. Del Rio and Cena, they weren't doing shit together. It was all Sandow and Cena. And then they flipped it to Cena and Del Rio. And then Sandow just gets shut out. I was kind of pissed about that. I really would have liked to see him involved in that match. But whatever. So yeah, that was that. To end out the Raw, we had Triple H and Stephanie rehire the Big Show. And then he got beat up by the Shield and Orton. I fell asleep during this because I just don't care about the Big Show and the whole Authority. I like the Authority, but just the whole storyline with the Big Show, I just couldn't care less. So fuck that. So that was that. Next we got NXT. Is there anything I want to talk about? Alexander Rusev. Still liking him a lot. He's officially no longer with Sylvester LaForte. He's with this blonde woman. I think her name's Lana or something. I don't know. But she speaks Russian, and I don't know if he's Russian. I don't know what his nationality is, but I don't know. I liked him better with Sylvester LaForte as his manager because they had that whole Umaga Armando Estrada thing going on, but now with the whole big he's Bulgarian, I think, with Rusev and this chick, I don't know, I just don't like it as much as him and Sylvester LaForte, but I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Next we got Impact. Start the show. Oh, okay. This is the show. Okay, so leading up to this show, Dixie Carter was doing YouTube videos. You know, the whole 365 thing, and she was promoting it as like a former champion is gonna come back. A former champion. She hyped it up a lot. Like, who is this former champion? Is it Jeff Jarrett? Is it Tomko? Like, who is it? Who's this guy gonna be? It turns out it was Pac-Man Jones. I love the video that they did for it. I'm gonna link it in the description. So the whole video is like her and Jeremy Borash, and there's some other guy there, but I don't think he was important. So she's like, "So Jeremy, do you know who it is?" He's like, "I don't fucking know. Who is it?" And she's like, "I can't believe you don't know. It's Pac-Man Jones, duh." And the look on his face. I don't think it was acting. I think it was a real look of like, what the fuck are you thinking by bringing this guy back? Like, oh my god, when I heard about this, I thought it was a joke. I really thought it was a joke. I'm like, no, they're not bringing Pac-Man Jones back. They learned their lesson. They can't be bringing him back. It turns out he actually did come back. I was like, oh my god, TNA is fucked. Because at this time, there was a lot of rumors like TNA is going to be sold. They're fucked. You know, Hogan's not there. They're in the trouble. Or they're in the trouble. They're in trouble. They don't have the Impact Zone anymore. You know, carrying the show on the road is expensive. What are they going to do? Blah, blah, blah. Are they going to be sold? Who's going to buy the company? Is the company in trouble? All this shit. And then they bring Pac-Man Jones on top of all that shit? What? Excuse me. I laughed so hard when I found out Pac-Man Jones was really coming back. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you kidding? This is a joke, right? Turns out it's not a joke. Oh my god, it was so stupid. I can't believe they even considered him. Considered him to bring him back. Absolutely retarded. Fucking the most retarded thing ever. But it's TNA. You gotta remember that. These are the people that brought in Jenna Maraska, that did fucking the Claire Lynch angle. The people that don't know when to kill aces and eights. God damn it, it's still going on. It's so bad, man. Oh my god, I can't believe they brought Pac-Man Jones in. Oh my fucking god. And to tout him as like, he's a former champion. He's a former tag team champion. He's a former champion that didn't do dog shit. It was all our truth, Ron Killings. He did absolutely everything. Pac-Man Joe, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't get in the ring. He couldn't wrestle. He couldn't get physical. It was so stupid. And the fact that they brought him in, oh my god, so retarded. So anyways, let's talk about it. What they did with him. Thank God it was very minimal, but still shitty. So the show starts out with the Main Event Mafia coming out. Sting pretty much says, hey, Main Event Mafia's over. You know, we were put together to destroy the Aces and Eights, and Aces and Eights. It's not done, but we fucked it up a lot. You know, we got rid of Devon and all those people, so we're going to break up. And they're all going to go their separate ways. So Roode has something with Angle. They brawl. After the brawl, Bad Influence comes out and talks shit to Pac-Man Jones and some other guy. And they end up shoving him down. They jump the guardrail, scoop slam Bad Influence, and they never do anything with it again. Like, to my knowledge, this was a one and done deal. I don't know why they did it. Why would you bury Bad Influence? I mean, it doesn't really hurt them because they're so awesome. But it's so pointless. Why are you going to have them get scoop slammed? They're not going to have a match later. So who gives a shit? Like, why would you do this? But, I don't know. It's fucking TNA. I don't have any answers besides that. It's TNA. So yeah, that was so retarded. I still can't believe they brought Pac-Man in. Fucking can't believe it. I can't believe it. I don't know. That's so retarded. What else do we have? Aces and Eights came out and on the same show as Main Event Mafia, and they're like, oh, are we going to break up? And we're going to have a vote to see if we break up. They ended up fake breaking up, and then Mr. Anderson came out, and they're like, oh, no, we're not breaking up. We're just, you know, planning this so we can beat the shit out of you. I was actually happy for a second. I actually believed it. I'm like, yes, Aces and Eights is over. We got Main Event Mafia. We got, they're done with. We got the Aces and Eights, they're done with. We got Pac-Man Jones. I can't believe he came back. But I'm like, oh man, you know, like, God, just be over with. It ends up, nope, they, still not over. They're still dragging the shit out of this. I can't believe it. I can't fucking believe it, but whatever. What else? The main event was Jeff Hardy versus Chris Sabin in a Full Metal Mayhem match. This was a good match. I really enjoyed this. Hardy ended up winning, and this whole all part of the TNA title tournament to crown a new champion. So that was cool. Good to see. It's a good match between these two guys. Next we got SmackDown, but I don't think SmackDown has anything I want to talk about. Oh, they actually finally had some Del Rio versus Cena interaction. I mean, finally they're like, oh yeah, Cena's supposed to wrestle at Survivor Series. Oh, his opponent's Del Rio? Oh, let's start having them do stuff together. So, they finally started building some interaction between the two, which is, was nice. You know, a little bit late, but nice. So yeah, like, there's nothing really I want to talk about SmackDown. Of course, Ring of Honor, like I said, they showed matches from Glory by Honor, so if you didn't watch Glory by Honor, you can watch it on the shows. Next we have Raw again. This was the Raw that was in England, which was a pretty decent show. So the Authority are on vacation. Stephanie and Triple H, they're on vacation. So they weren't at the show. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about 3MB, the Union Jacks. I don't want to talk about them specifically as the Union Jacks. I just want to talk about the matches that they had. They were actually, like, the best 3MB matches I've seen ever. Like, they actually got offense and they actually got punches and moves in, and I was so impressed. And they were actually doing tag team moves. Like, I like that a lot. You know, they were doing, like, three-way tag team maneuvers. Like, you have all three of them tag in, they do like a suplex, and then one of them runs as a knee. Just some stupid stuff like that. Not stupid stuff, but like some tag team moves together. And if they were actually like do more stuff like that, I think everyone can take them seriously as a tag team. Not really, honestly, because they've done so many jobs. I think that if we can't take them seriously as a team anymore. Like, if they were, like, #1 contenders for the tag team titles, I don't think anybody would take that seriously because, hey, they've lost every single match. You know, who really thinks that they might be tag team champions? But, I don't know, I think this was, like, a step in the right direction, but they ended up losing, so whatever. So what else do we got? Oh, we had Paul Heyman kind of make his comeback. And he said Ryback is no longer a Paul Heyman guy. He said Ryback failed. You know, he brought in Ryback to take out Punk, but he failed. So they don't want him anymore. And anyways, Punk came out and attacked them, and or attacked Heyman and beat him up with a Singapore King. And to end the show, I really like the way they ended this show. The Shield versus Daniel Bryan and CM Punk in a handicap match. This was a good match and no one wins after the Wyatts come out and start brawling with the Shield. The Wyatts and Shields decide to team up against Bryan and Punk. Another brawl breaks out. And then the Usos, Goldust, and Cody Rhodes come out to help Punk and Bryan. I just really liked the way the show ended with the Shield and the Wyatts and Bryan and Punk. Just like being a fan of some of their, you know, pre-WWE stuff, just to see them like all there at the same time. You know, Punk, Bryan, Ambrose, Rollins, Luke Harper, just to see them all in the ring and like they made it and stuff. I just thought it was a cool little moment, and you know, it kind of. I was reading JR's blog. Every week, I think he does this blog type thing. You know, fans ask him questions, and he gives his candid opinions. And he's like, you know, at WrestleMania, I would love to see the Shield versus the Wyatt family. And he really opened my eyes up to this match because, like, before that, I'm like, I never really thought about that match. So I'm like, the Wyatts versus the Shield at WrestleMania? Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. I'd love to see that. But I don't think that that's going to happen, especially with them teasing the breakup of the Shield. I don't know. But that'd be cool. The Wyatts versus the Shield at WrestleMania. I think that'd be awesome. But, we'll have to wait and see. You know, it might be a possibility. But, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, like I said. Next we got NXT. What do I want to talk about? Camacho. He's back. Camacho and Hunico. Hold on. Did this happen on SmackDown? Let me check. No, it happened on the next SmackDown. So Hunico and Camacho are back. I think I was the only one that was excited to see them back. I mean, Hunico wasn't on this NXT show, just Camacho, but like, I forgot about Camacho. Like, oh shit, yeah, Camacho, he's the best. And I actually just found out that Camacho is the son of Haku, former WWE superstar. I didn't know that, but he's a second-generation superstar. I just fucking learned that. Maybe you guys learned it too. I don't know. Maybe you knew the whole time. But yeah, I just found out that he's a second-generation superstar. So that was cool. Anyways, he had a match with Aiden English. I don't really want to talk about that match, but you know, whatever. I just want to talk about Camacho. What else happens? We had Bayley and Charlotte versus Summer Rae and Sasha Banks. During the match, Charlotte turned on Bayley and aligned herself with Summer and Sasha. I like the team name for Sasha and Summer Rae, the BFFs. God, I forgot what it stands for, but they're called the BFFs. It stands for something, and I just think it's cool. I think I've talked about this before. It's kind of like Lay Cool 2.0, but yeah, I think they're doing just as a good job as Lay Cool did. So I like that a lot. And now is Charlotte a part of the group? I don't really like that. I don't know. I just don't think she fits. I mean, I haven't seen any of the stuff with the three of them, but I think this is kind of a way to like replace Summer Rae, especially since she's now on the WWE roster full time. So they can kind of replace Summer with Charlotte, and now it's going to be like Charlotte and Sasha. I can see that happening, but as far as them as like a trio, I don't know. It just doesn't look as good. Not that to say that they're not good looking. Just I don't know. I like Summer and Sasha. I don't think Charlotte's needed at all. What else do we? I'd rather see her play like the anti-bully. Like, you know, like I thought it was going pretty well. You know, you have Lay Cool. Not Lay Cool. God damn it. The BFFs, Summer and Sasha, they're picking on Bayley because, you know, she's just an innocent girl and she just loves everybody and she wants to give everyone hugs. And then you got Charlotte, but, you know, secretly Summer and Sasha are, like, picking on Bayley and making fun of her. And then you got Charlotte just kind of sticking up for Bayley, who's her friend, and, like, hey, stop picking on her, you bullies, and, like, just maybe have some or be a star stuff. And I don't know, I liked her better in that role. Well, I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, I haven't seen any of her stuff with the three of them. And the main event of the show was Adrian Neville versus Corey Graves in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Good match, Neville wins. Now, while watching the show, I came up with an idea of NXT. So, you know, I was watching NXT and a thought popped in my head where I think NXT should do like a gut check type thing where like they can bring in new talents and even get the WWE Universe involved where like, oh, you can vote on the app for whatever guy you want to be a part of the roster. But I think just NXT as a whole needs more talents. And I think that'd be a good way to get some. Like, yeah, I was really thinking about, like, the NXT roster. And, like, it's really small. I can only think of, like, a couple guys that are really, like, a part of the roster. You got Sam, you got Bo, you got Kruger, Neville, Corey Graves, Tyler Breeze, Aiden English, Alexander Rusev. I don't know, there's just not a lot of guys, and I think this gut check type thing would work better with WWE because you can have these two indie guys come in, they have the match, they do like the gut check type story where, yeah, I've been wrestling for this amount of time, it's my dream to be in WWE, and then they duke it out, they have the match, and then it'd be awesome. They get a contract, they work in NXT, and then they kind of work their way up to WWE. And I think that just would be really cool for NXT and WWE, and guys on the independents that are like looking for a shot. And I don't know, I just think it'd be a really cool thing, and especially now since TNA stopped doing gut check and all that shit. And honestly, they really need it because their talent is really limited. We'll talk about that later. Um, but like, yeah, I think it'd be really cool for NXT. Like I said, I just think NXT needs more guys, needs more stars. I don't know. I just think they're really limited to what they have, and I'd just like to see some more guys on the show. That's just me, though. And I think that'd be cool, the whole gut check thing. So yeah, anyways, next we got Impact. It starts out with, whoops, my notes disappeared. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we are. So it starts out with Aces and Eights come out, and, you know, Anderson challenges Bully to a match at Turning Point or whatever. We're going to be reviewing Turning Point next week. Well, it's not really, I say it like it's a pay-per-view, but now that, you know, since they only do the whole 4 pay-per-views a year, they're doing special impacts with a pay-per-view theme, and that's the next one that's coming up. So, Anderson put his career on the line, said, hey, if I lose, I'll retire. If I win, Aces and Eights disbands. So, hey, I wonder which one's going to win. I hate when they do this retire stipulation. It's so fucking retarded. How often do the people retire? Almost never. So yeah, that was that. Next we got, there's nothing really else I want to talk about. The main event was Kurt Angle versus Austin Aries in a submission match. A really good match. Angle won, and I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was fucking awesome. And yeah, Angle won, so he advances in the tournament. Next we got SmackDown. Of course, we have O.N.O and Camacho making their return. Like I said, I think I was the only one excited to see them. But, yeah, O.N.O and Camacho. And, of course, who better to take them on in their return than the Great Khali? And they got fucking squashed in, like, 2 seconds. So, yay. It was fucking terrible. I would have liked to see them in at least a tag team match. But, you know, whatever. O.N.O and Camacho versus Los Matadors. Bam. Easy. I don't even think I've seen the Los Matadors on SmackDown. I think I actually have. I don't know if they've been on SmackDown. I think they're more a Raw thing. No. I think they were on SmackDown. I don't know. Whatever. It's not important. So yeah, that's all that I really want to talk about. SmackDown, like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's just whatever. What else do we got? Oh, so we're winding down here. Let's talk about Total Divas. It's back. Super excited it's back. I really enjoy watching this. I don't know why. I feel like a bitch for liking this, honestly. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't like it as much as I do. Well, fuck. I like what I like. And I think there's probably some other people that feel the same way. Like, we probably shouldn't like this as much as we do. But, fuck, you know, it's wrestling. You know, whatever. That's our way to justify it. So anyways, this episode, like I said, was the second half of the season 1, so it's back. On this show, we had Cameron. Oh man, she's got a real anger problem. Shit, like one of the Usos. I think it's Jimmy. That's with Naomi. I think so. I don't know, but God. She ended up throwing a fit at somebody. She got into some, like, road rage. She ended up throwing a coffee at a dude. And I was like, whoa, bitch. Like, you need to calm down. Like, Naomi put it perfectly. She's like, you're a public figure. You shouldn't be acting like this. Like, you can get fired. And I think Cameron's on thin ice, too. Because I knew she got arrested for a DUI. And then, you know, there's probably some heat with the whole Vinny when he wanted to fight Brodus Clay thing. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's like backstage. They make it seem like everyone's friends, but I don't think everyone's friends. Especially not Eva Marie. We're going to talk about Eva Marie in a second. But later in the episode, you learn that Cameron, her childhood is why she's so angry and shit like that. So, we get to learn more about her personal life. So, that's that. What else do we got? I want to save the Eva Marie thing for last. So, next we had Natalya pissed herself during a match. And I like how she fucking blamed Naomi. Like, Naomi doesn't know how to work. And that's why I pissed myself. Because she doesn't know how to work and she's reckless in the ring. And she hit me in my stomach. And I was like, whoa, like, shit, you know, shit happens, you know? Like, Cena talked about how he shit himself during a match. And, like, you know, shit happens. Sometimes you piss yourself. I didn't even see it, like, through her trunks and shit. But, yeah, she pissed herself. And, she really blew it out of proportion. But she was getting made fun of it. So, I don't know. I think it was justified. Whatever. And this was around SummerSlam. The whole footage. So they did a lot of, like, press conferences and, like, red carpet stuff and whatever. And then you found out, like, Cena was injured. And he's got, like, a tricep tear, I think it was. And, the SummerSlam was going to be his last match, and Bella versus Bella boyfriend thing. But anyways, let's talk about Eva Marie. God damn, is she a cunt! And I don't like using that word cunt, but holy fuck. I think I hate her more now than ever. Oh my god. This one episode made me hate her so much, it's unfucking believable. So even the beginning, the start of the show, all the divas, they're having lunch together or whatever, and you know, she's talking about her Maxim cover, and then the Bellas are like, oh yeah, we did Maxim Espanol, and then Eva's like, oh, you did Maxim, but not the actual Maxim magazine. Just kind of be like, oh, it's a bigger deal because I was actually on Maxim, not Maxim Espanol. And then Bree's, she had a great comeback. We're like, yeah, but this one gets sent to more countries, so fuck you. And I just thought it was cool. Oh my god, I just fucking hate Eva Marie. God damn it. What else? And then, for some reason, she really wants to be a Bella twin. And they say that she looks a lot like a Bella, but I don't think so. Like, I think I might be the only one that, even if she did dye her hair brunette, that she wouldn't look like a Bella. Like, I don't know, I don't think so. But, anyways, she was, like, reading the dirt sheets and, like, oh, yeah, there's rumors of her being paired up with John Cena, and she started rubbing that in Nikki Bella's face. And I would not be mad if Nikki punched her in the face, because, like, there was, like, we're going to talk about it in just a second, but she was so disrespectful. And, okay, so we're going to talk about it right now. So she actually went to the Bellas. They were with their mom, and they were watching the main event, Bryan versus Cena, for the WWE title. And then Eva Marie comes up. In front of the Bella's mom, she's like, you say Bella's gonna something, I say Bella's gonna fall. And she said that in front of their mom. I'm like, what? You are so disrespectful. God, I don't know how she still has a job there. The whole Fandango thing, I don't know. I think that was scripted, though. But I don't know, man. Oh, man. I honestly don't know how she has a job. It's fucking mind-blowing, but god damn it. Oh, she said Bella's gonna fall. Said something about Bella's gonna fall. And she thinks she's a superstar now because people have Eva Marie signed. She did a signing, and there was some chick that came up to her and said, you're my idol. And I was like, what the fuck? You need to be hit in the head with a frying pan. How the fuck is Eva Marie your goddamn idol? What did she do? Is she this goddamn humanitarian that I don't know about? Is she the second coming of Mother Teresa? No, she's a fucking cunt. And, oh my god, I just hate it. Eva Marie. Even more now. Just fucking even more. She's so hateable. It's so easy. Oh my god. And, shit, she Oh man, this is terrible. Her attitude, fuck. Oh my god, I hate it. I fucking hate it. It's so bad. It's really fucking bad. I loved it when Jinder Mahal yelled at her. We're gonna get to that episode, I think, on the next weekly wrestling review. I think that episode comes up. But when Jinder Mahal ripped her a new asshole, woo! I was like, yeah, buddy. I became a Jinder Mahal fan, bro. I was like, yeah, you're the man, Jinder. Fuck yeah. But yeah, I fucking hate Eva Marie. I wouldn't be mad if she got released. I mean, she's sexy as shit. And, you know, if she got released, she'd probably get, like, a shit ton of modeling gigs, and she wouldn't even, like, be angry, because she doesn't care about wrestling. Like, she doesn't give a shit. She just wants to be a superstar, so, I don't know. Whatever. So that's it for Total Divas. I'm done talking about Eva Marie. Goddamn bitch. Let's talk about some stuff. Some wrestling news. So, I was going to talk about the whole TNA sale, but I'm like, you know, fuck it. It's so old. So I picked out a couple news stories that, you know, some interesting stuff here. So first, let's talk about AJ Styles. So of course, AJ Styles, no longer a part of TNA. As of right now, I'm talking about January, not November. As of right now in January, he is no longer in TNA, and he's actually working for Ring of Honor. And like I said, I want to talk about Ring of Honor now. Ring of Honor, I think, is going to succeed from this whole AJ thing, because now that it's a big hit for TNA because they lost a huge superstar, I think it's a big gain for Ring of Honor. I think 2014 might be Ring of Honor's year. I know they got Chris Hero. He made an appearance at Final Battle. He's now part of the Ring of Honor roster. AJ, I think, is going to be a permanent member of the roster. I don't know if he's going to be like a Paul London type thing, where like he comes in for special matches, or is he actually going to be a part of the Ring of Honor roster consistently and be on all the shows and TVs and stuff. If so, that is huge. That's a big name for Ring of Honor to have, especially him and Chris Hero. That's huge, and we're actually going to talk about Chris Hero here in a second. But AJ Styles and Ring of Honor, it's like I said, 2014 might be the year of Ring of Honor. You know, you got AJ, you got Chris Hero, Paul London, Adam Cole, Michael Elgin, the Briscoes, ACH, Kevin Steen, Mike Bennett, Tommaso Ciampa. It's going to be fucking awesome in Ring of Honor. I love it a lot, the direction they're going in right now. So yeah, the one thing I wanted to mention about AJ is, you know, the whole thing with TNA and blah, blah, blah. But did you know that he was actually offered a contract from WWE? Yeah, so once his TNA contract expired, WWE actually offered him a contract, but he didn't end up taking it because the report says it was about 1/5 about what he was making in TNA. So that's like just a shit amount of money. And I think they shouldn't have lowballed him like that. I think, you know, he's a veteran. Yeah, granted, he hasn't, like, made a name for himself in WWE, but, like, I don't know, to lowball him with an offer, and then he'd probably have to go to NXT before he'd go to fucking the main roster, and it just wouldn't be worth it for him if he were to sign to WWE. Hopefully, I don't know. Would he be like a Sin Cara? Like, I don't think Sin Cara went to NXT. I think he got signed and went straight to the main roster, which I would have liked to see AJ do if he were to get signed for a reasonable amount of money. But yeah, if he were to go to NXT, that'd be so shit, man. That'd be so garbage. He probably would, though, and they'd probably stick him with they'd probably set him up to fail. Honestly, I think so, because AJ, he's not a spring chicken anymore. You know, he's like he's an older chicken in the pen of wrestlers. This is a weird analogy, but whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I'm glad he didn't go to WWE. I mean, I'd like to see him go to WWE to achieve some success and make a lot of money, possibly, because, you know, like I said, they might have set him up to fail before he even started. But yeah, I think, you know, he's going to make more money now. You know, he's doing all these independent dates, and, you know, he's kind of a hot thing on the indies. You know, all the people want to have him on their shows because, you know, he's a big name. and he's just gonna make a fuck ton of money. So more power to AJ Styles. So isn't that crazy? He's with Ring of Honor, and apparently Ring of Honor pays more than TNA. So that is just something to say about that. I read a funny comment today actually. So okay. So AJ wrestled in Ring of Honor, I think Saturday, and he had a match with Roderick Strong. And apparently Roderick Strong hurt himself. And I saw a video of the injury. So what happened was AJ put him for the Styles Clash, and Roderick Strong, he didn't have to do anything. All he had to do was just sit there and take the bump. But what he did was he accidentally tucked his head, and he ended up getting dumped on his head by the Styles Clash, similar to what happened to Kazarian. But this was, I think, worse than what happened to Kazarian. Actually, no, I think Kazarian's was a lot worse. But this was on the same level. And someone wrote a funny comment. That was hilarious. He's like, AJ was nervous. He's never wrestled in front of such a huge crowd. And I just laughed so hard. I just thought it was hilarious. But he's insinuating that the Ring of Honor crowds are bigger than TNA, which I don't know. But I thought it was fucking hilarious. It was fucking hilarious. He's never wrestled in front of such a big crowd. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Anyways, so yeah, AJ was offered a WWE contract. Let me know in the comments. Do you think he should have signed it, or do you think he should do what he's been doing for the past couple weeks or months or whatever, like going to TNA and working the indies and stuff? So, what else do I want to talk about? TNA. No longer affiliated with OVW. So OVW was their kind of like what NXT is to WWE, where they have all these guys and they bring them up to the main roster. OVW is kind of that to TNA. They didn't have all the talent on there, but like some of their guys that they've signed, they sent to OVW and to train and get more experience wrestling. And now that they're no longer working together, I think that's why we've seen, Rockstar Spud and all these guys actually appear on TNA, because TNA has nothing, or, they pretty much have all these guys now that they're not doing anything with, because they were all in OVW, but now that OVW and TNA are no longer working, I think that's why we've seen Rockstar Spud on TNA. I think that's why we saw Hannah Blossom on TNA. She was part of the Open Challenge for Gail Kim. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Rob Terry ends up being a part of the whole Dixie group. Because Dixie, that whole group, it could use a big guy, some muscle for the group. And I think Rob Terry probably fit that very well. So, yeah, that's why we've seen, the appearance of like Samuel Shaw, Rockstar Spud, and Hannah Blossom. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Whatever. And last but not least, WWE has released Kassius Ohno, a.k.a. Chris Hero, from NXT, which I think came as a surprise. And it didn't, I don't know, I think it came more of a surprise than it didn't, because, you had Chris Hero. Yeah, there was some controversy with the whole, he's not working out thing, and then he got sit at home, put at home to sit out and train and stuff. And then he came back, and then only a couple months, or like a month after he's come back, he's already gone. He got released. I think that's pretty terrible. And, he's now released. He's working independence like we were talking about earlier. He's going to be a part of a Ring of Honor going into the future. And, like I said, Ring of Honor, 2014 is the year of Ring of Honor. But it sucks to see that Chris Hero was released from WWE. I think he could have done something. There was rumors that, like, he was the fourth member of the Shield and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think they should have given him a chance at least before releasing him. But I don't know. I guess they didn't see anything in him. So that sucks. Chris Hero no longer a part of NXT/WWE. Will he be there in the future? Possibly. I think so. So that's going to be it for the weekly wrestling review. I hope you guys enjoyed. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Come back next time where we got reviews for Survivor Series, 2 weeks worth of Raw, Smackdown, Impact, NXT, Ring of Honor, more Total Diva stuff, and some more wrestling news. So I'm trying to catch up. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch me next time. Until then, guys, peace out.